Okay, shalom, shalom, shalom. It's been a little while since we came and made a video. And I know we are supposed to have put the last installment about the controversy of John. But we first got to come and introduce and address a very prolonging question. Everybody is asking this question, and we will give you a profound answer on it. The question and the topic of this lesson is, what is set apartness? What is set apartness? Is it Christianity? Is it Catholicism? Is it Black Hebrew? Is it Israelitism? Judaism? What is set apartness? First thing is, I'm glad that I don't have to dress up in a monkey suit with a tie to try to look like I'm important, that you may receive these words of importance. Set apartness is something that allows me to be who I am. In my Steelers hat, with this woolly face, in a fuchsia shirt, yes sir, and feel no shame in the game, because I don't have to make myself up. I don't have to dress myself up. I don't have to look a part to present an worldly outlook of acceptance. That's not going to be happening, because set apartness deal in a different manner than what your normal religious want to be sitting in the high seat people is. First, before I even break and define this thing, let me give you our foundation first. It comes from Matthew, the 5th chapter, at the 18th verse. Well, make it 17. Let's go 17. Matter of fact, I'm going to back it up to 16. 16, 17, and 18. And this will give you a preview on what we really is promoting as being set apartness. Matthew 5 and 16 read, "Let your light so shine." I'm reading from the, wait a minute. Let me really fine tune this thing. I'm reading from the TS 2009 version. So now if you go to your King James, it's going to read it totally different. And this is the foundations of set apartness. Listen. "Let your light so shine before men, so that they see your good works and praise your Father who is in heaven. Do not think that I came to destroy the Torah or the prophets. I did not come to destroy, but to complete, meaning to put an end to. meaning that it's done, meaning that all this is fulfilled. And he says, before any of this can be done, listen, truly I say to you, till the heaven and the earth pass away, one jot and one tittle shall no means pass from the Torah till all is done. Meaning now, before he came, this law of the Torah was crucial. To be a Hebrew Israelite who studied Judaism, you had to comply and base your life on this law. The Pharisees and Sadducees was great masters of this law. They studied it day and night and practiced it day and night before men to show their pieties, to show how holy they was, to show how clean and how upright they was, show how right they was. But it came to pass that there was one by the name of Emmanuel who stepped on the scene. And Emmanuel did a lot to usher in something that we call the renewed covenant. Meaning where you took the old covenant and all the aspects of the old covenant and you renewed them through a line of understanding that really differed from the first, because the first one didn't save anybody. The first one didn't bring nobody in. And this is where we start first with the explanation of set apartness. No, it ain't got nothing to do with no black Hebrewism. No, it ain't got nothing to do with whether you is a black Hebrew or not. Because the Bible has no color spectrum to it. The way that men was divided in the Bible was from the city and place you was. You was either a Greek or you was either, from Jerusalem. That's why they said Jew. You was either Israelite because you was from Israel. You was either, Canaanite because you was from the land of Canaan. See, this is what the geographical spec was. It was never no racial overtones of black and white until we got over here in America. It was never about a color thing. So that's destroyed one part of what your westernized teaching had placed. Set apartness on number 2 had nothing to do with whether or not you are male or female. Has nothing to do with that. Number 3, set apartness have nothing to do with anything that man have written. all this stuff that man wrote down and gave before you for you to supposed to follow and do. This is great when you was a babe, which when I come and show you in the book that none of your teachers teach out of, because this book go against any religious organization that you form, that you place up, that you put up. See, set apartness started all the way back. First, before I do all that here, let me bring you up to a book that not even the pious Catholic or the highest bishop or the close emu or emissary or however you want to put them ever teach you from. We're going to the book of Hebrews. And I know I'm going to start at the 5th chapter. And I'm going to read, then I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to read, then I'm going to talk to you. Hebrews 5:1 states this: for every priest taken from among men is appointed on the behalf of men in the matters relating to Elohim, to offer both gift and offerings for sins. Now, through the Levitical priesthood that was established by Aaron, every priest did exactly what it just said in Hebrew. It said, being able to have a measure of feelings for those not knowing and being led astray, since he himself is also surrounded by weakness. Meaning that he understood what you was going through, because he was going through it himself. See, this is what made the law the law. Because in order to understand a law, you first have to experience that law. Let me make it more plainer to you. And on the account of this, he has to offer for sins as for the people and also for himself. No one's attained this esteem for himself, but he who is called by Elohim, even as Aaron was called. See, when you go back to the story of Aaron, to all y'all Hebrew historians who understand and know exactly what I'm finna talk about, all the heads of the tribes took their staffs that was made of wood, and they placed them in the tent. And the Father told Moses, whoever staff budded and brought forth a bloom, that the one who's, the Levitical priesthood was going to come through. So the next morning, after Moses directed all the heads of the tribes to do so, when they went in the tent and pulled out the staffs, the tribe of Levite, which was the tribe of Aaron, the staff budded, giving the tribe of Levites the priesthood. So from Aaron on down until time, so see, I'm going to destroy a lot of this mess. Aaron all the way down through the span of time, the spiritual aspect of your walk came through the Levitical priesthood. They were the ones who can pray for you and sacrifice the goats and the lambs and the sheep. So, I want you to listen what verse 5 says. So, also the Messiah did not exalt himself to become high priest, but it was he who said to him, wait a minute now. It was he who said to him, meaning that he wasn't high priest because he was born into a line. He wasn't high priest because he was of Levitical background. He wasn't high priest because he chose to go to seminars or chose to go to these schools that ordain you and give you papers. He was a high priest because of him who said to him, "You are my son. Today I have brought you forth." And he also said in another place, "You are a high priest forever according to the order of Melchizedek." Now wait a minute now. Melchizedek is not Levitical. Moses never talked of him. Moses never talked and said anything about the tribe of Judah, because why? The tribe of Judah stick did not butt it in the tent. It was the Levitical tribes. So this is what Moses said. And from the time that Moses appointed Aaron, this is what we who studied and went and did based everything on the Levitical side. But now, answer me something. In the 5th chapter of Hebrew, he said about Melchizedek in the 6th verse, that if you go down, come on, follow me, go down to the 10th verse, he said, having been designated by Elohim a high priest according to the order of Melchizedek. Now here where now you finding out what set apartness is. It's not up under the order of Aaron. It's not up under the orders of your Judaism. I didn't say that right, did I, baby? Okay. And she have a nerve to laugh back there. It's not in the orders of Judaism. Still ain't said that right. Judaism. There you go. I got it. You know, got kind of tongue-tied. Hush, Natasha. It's not in that order. It's not in the order of the Jews. It's not in the order of the Muslims. It's not in the order of Christianity. It's not in the order of Catholicism. It's not in the order of Buddhism. It's not in the order of Ramadan. It's not in the order of none of these things. The Baha'i faith, and man, you come up with the Christian order and the way left side. It ain't in that order. It's in the order of Melchizedek. Now, they won't teach you from this book because this book tells a lot. You do? Well, let's go down to verse 20 of the same. No. Excuse me. Let's go to chapter 6, verse 20. Dun, 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 dun. Come on, chapter 6, verse 20. Y'all come on, go with me. See, that's why it's so important to have your books with you, so you can see what is being said. Verse 20, chapter 6, says, wherefore, Emmanuel, which you will say Jesus, which in the 2009 will say Yahushua, I got that right now, has entered as a forerunner for us, having become high priest forever, according to the order of Melchizedek. Now, that poses a question. What is the order of Melchizedek? Since Christianity don't fall up in that category. Since Judaism don't fall in that category. Since Muslims don't fall in that category. Since the Roman Catholic high priests, whatever they want to call themselves, don't fall, where no branch of religion fall in that category. Because this man's name was never mentioned. Judah, the tribe of Judah, was never mentioned to be the holy line. Oh, y'all ain't hear me on that one. To be the chosen people. Nowhere was it mentioned that Judah, the one who threw Joseph in a pit, the one who is the son of the one that Jacob had to be tricked to marry, the one, the mother who had a lazy eye. Whoever thought that the divine direction came from one who Jacob had no choice but to accept. Let's go a little further here, if y'all don't mind. Let's go play with the 7th chapter. First verse in the 7th chapter. Bring up this unspeakable, this untalkable, this unnoticeable, this name that nobody will ever try to teach you about, because why? They is not set apart. They can't teach you for something that they don't know nothing about. What you mean? They can teach you Christianity, because that's what they was taught. That's what they can read. That's what they can do. They can teach you Judaism, because that's what they was taught. That's what they can read. That's what they can do. Every religion has a handheld pamphlet to instruct you how to do. But in the order of Melchizedek, this don't come with no written instructions. This don't come with man account. In the order of Melchizedek, which is the set apartness, this comes with one word: obedience. I say it again. This comes with obedience. Whatever, whether you like to do it or not, whether you feel like it or not, whether you was in the mood or not, obedience to what he says. And it's not up to you, or not up to your choice, or not up that you can pick and choose what you're going to do. See here, watch. We in Hebrews chapter 7 and 1. For this Melchizedek, sovereign of Salem, priest of the Most High Elohim, who met Abraham returning from the slaughter of the sovereigns and blessed him. Now, everybody took this second line and put it upon the people next. To whom also Abraham gave a tenth of all, his name being translated indeed first sovereign of righteousness, and then also sovereign of Salem, that is the sovereign of peace, without father, without mother, without genealogy, having neither a beginning of days nor the end of life, but having been made in the likeness of the Son of Elohim, remains a priest for all time. This set apartness, if you will, come on down to verse 11. This set apartness was made the way, not because man chose to accept it. It was made the way because this is the way that Yah spoke and said it's going to be. Where's your proof, Eddie? All right. Fat boy moving. In verse 8, it says, and here it is men who died that received tithes, but there is someone of whom it is witness that he lives. And one might say that through Abraham, even the Jews who received tithes and gave tithes, for he was still in the loins of his father when Melchizedek met him. Oh, you get real here. See, you didn't catch this because they won't teach this. He was still in the loins of his father when Melchizedek met him. See, y'all missed this thing. Y'all jump and celebrate whenever it's talking about how the baby leaped in the womb of Mary. And how the baby leaped in the womb of Elizabeth. Y'all smile and go off high hog about that. But the writer of Hebrew which nobody knows. So you can't put credit on anybody. The writer of Hebrews did not went through the bloodline of the mother. He said, while he was in the loins of his father, when Melchizedek met him. Truly, we're going to go to the next verse now. Truly then, if perfection were through the Levitical priesthood, for under it the people were given the Torah, why was there still need for another priest to arise according to the order of Melchizedek, and not to be called according to the order of Aaron? Why? Why? Why is there a need? Because Aaron, you could not even have to go far from Aaron. You can go to Aaron's sons. When it came down to the Levitical priesthood, it had a lot of flawed members in it who did not do anything that Yah said. Aaron's sons went and started burning strange incense in the temple. Both of them, they just got bust up. You ain't heard nothing else from Aaron after he pleaded for the case of Miriam, who had leprosy. He ain't entered in the promised land. Aaron's sons ain't entered in the promised land. Moses didn't enter into the promised land. So the Levitical priesthood was doomed from the start. And this is why the writer wrote this. For the priesthood being changed of necessity, there took place a change of law also. Now, if I'm lying behind what is written in your book of instructions. Verse 13 says, for he of whom this is said belongs to another tribe. Oh my goodness. From which no one had attended at the slaughter place. For it's perfectly clear that our master rose from Judah, a tribe which Moses never, and I repeat, never, and if you read it again, it says never, spoke of concerning priesthood. And this is clear still. If another priest arises in the likeness of Melchizedek, who has not become, not according to the Torah of fleshly commands, but according to the power of endless life. Now you ask me again, hey, what is set apartness? Follow me on down, if you will. Let's go to the 8th chapter of Hebrews. We're going to start at the 5th verse. See, set apartness is not about rituals. It's not about Sabbath days. It's not about what animal you do eat and what animal you don't eat. Set apartness has nothing to do with Yom Kippur. Has nothing to do with Hanukkah. Nothing to do with your festivals of light. Has nothing to do with your Passovers. your Pentecostals. Because remember, he rejected all that. He got tired of your lying burnt offerings. He got tired of all that. So it has nothing to do with that. This what set apartness different from the rest. Listen. Should I do 4? Yeah, I better do 4 to give you a sense of what he's talking about. Hebrews 8:4. For indeed, he were on the earth. He will not be a priest, since there are no priests who offer gifts according to the Torah that came out of the tribe of Judah. Did you just understand what I said? According to the Torah, you had to come out the tribe of Judah, out the tribe of Levite, in order to be a high priest. See, y'all listening at this knowledge from a scrappy old looking man with a beanie hat on and a fuchsia looking shirt. I has no ties, I has no suit put on, I ain't well shaved and groomed and all that to impress you. I'm here for your soul. I'm not here for your flesh. I'm here to put a burning sensation in the pit of your stomach to know that there is a more excellent way. And it don't take the cleaning of the outside of the cup to get there. Huh? Because what's on the inside will clean the outside automatically. Well, let's hurry up because I ain't got about 3 more minutes. Who serve a copy and shadow of the heavenlies, as Moses was warned when he was about to make the tent. For he said, see that you make all according to the pattern shown you on the mountain. But now he has obtained a more excellent servant, insomuch as he also mediator. This is the order. He's not only our high priest, but he also obtained another position as our mediator of a better covenant, which was constituted on better promise. What is set apartness? Set apartness is a covenant that is based on nothing what man said, wrote, put, included, whatever. It's based on the pure words of what Yah himself said. See, I'm going to read this. Verse 7 said, for if that the first covenant had been flawless, then no place would ever have been sought for the second. Wouldn't be no need. For finding fault with them, he said, see, the days are coming, says Yah. I want you to catch this because this what qualifies us as being set apart. Says Yah, when I shall conclude, meaning that I shall be finished. I have done. I concluded with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah a renewed covenant. I concluded this because the old was finished now. I concluded with them that they may be able to obtain this thing, not through, listen now, not through, and it reads, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand and led them out of the land of Misraim, because they did not continue in my covenant, and I discarded them. We're not making that covenant, the Father is saying, that I made with their fathers. The agreement me and these set apart ones got is not based on whether or not you put boxes on your head, write scriptures on your eyelids. This covenant that I got with them is not based on a clean animal or a filthy animal. This covenant I got them is not based on whether they attend festivals, whether they observe festivals, whether they deal with the things that, their fathers promoted. But this covenant that I got is the covenant that I shall make with the house of Israel. See, the funny thing about it is, Israel had 12 sons. And the covenant that he is making, in which every descendant from Israel. And the craziest thing about it, this is where I tells you that everybody who is upon this earth has a chance. It ain't about whether I'm a Baptist or I'm a Methodist or I'm a Protestant or whether I'm a Catholic, whether I'm a Hindu, whether I'm Islam. Well, it has nothing to do with none of that. All of us came from three individuals: Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Because all that before was destroyed in the flood. Hear me, people. Father is saying that after Adam did what he did, everybody, even Abraham, Moses, came through the line of Seth. And he's saying this line, after those days said Yah, giving my laws in their minds. Huh? Not on paper. Not on scrolls, not on tablets, not on bamboo. But I'm going to give them laws in their minds. And I shall write them on their hearts. Not on stones or tablet. Not out of an order of Levitical necessity that adds 600 and some odd more different laws. These laws, I'm going to add it to their hearts. And I shall be their Elohim. And they shall be my people. And they shall have by no means to teach anybody about me like you do every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. When you set apart, I don't have to do nothing to teach you about him. All I have to do is share what he done for me. See, you won't never get that. 11 verse said, they shall not in no means teach each one his neighbor or each of his brother, saying, know Yah, because they shall know me from the least to the greatest of them. See, you don't realize this thing. Your way, you have to teach and make them and shape them and mold them. His word, he's already done placed it in our hearts. We don't have to go through that school of hard knocks. My time is up. But before I go, I want to put this with you. Because I shall forgive their unrighteousness and their sins and their lawlessness, and I shall remember no longer, by saying, renew. He has made the first old. Now what becomes old and growing age is near disappearance. That old way that y'all love to do, that old slave mentality teacher from that old slave book that you got, I don't have to worry about that no more. So all y'all black Hebrews who trying to force people to do a new Christianity walk, to go back to the Old Testament, all you Christians that trying to bypass the Old Testament and go to the New Testament, keep on. Because if it ain't written in your heart and your mind, you none of his. Shalom.